The first thing I did after being reborn was dig through a filthy ditch to find the biggest, fattest leech I could, then swallowed it whole without a second thought. Even as it thrashed around in my throat, I choked back the nausea and forced it down. Because a gamma-ray apocalypse was coming, and everyone would awaken the power of the last thing they ever ate. Some guy ate a preserved crocodile egg and transformed into a 100-meter croc, devouring everything in sight. Another dude ate fried chicken wings and awakened Phoenix bloodline, soaring through the sky. Me? I ate a piece of dried rat in my past life, turned into a rat that everyone wanted dead, and got stomped out by some unknown beast in the end. But now I'm back, with an infinite devour system. The stronger what I eat, the more power I get back. That mutant leech from my past life. It's about to turn into a world-devouring monster. Right now I'm staring at a glass tank with a blood-red leech inside, its fat body writhing around like a giant red maggot. Eating it makes me stronger, so what's there to think about? Let's get it. I steeled myself. I rolled up my sleeve, reached into the tank to grab the mutant leech, but it kept twisting and slipping, broke free from my grip, and bit down hard on my finger. The bloody water in the tank thickened up fast. The fresh blood sent the mutant leech into a frenzy. I snapped to attention and snatched it out in a flash. Then I opened wide and swallowed it in one go. Congratulations, host. Mutant leech successfully devoured. Gene sequence extraction complete. Let's see what the new sequence brings. My fingers started tingling almost immediately. I looked down and saw the chunk of flesh that had been bitten off. Suddenly dozens of blood-red threads surged out, wrapped around the wound, and within 2 seconds, brand new flesh had grown back. Full-on limb regeneration. On top of that, I could feel an insane surge of power rushing through my body, like I had unlimited energy. I walked up to a mirror, stood there, and stared at my reflection. And I froze. I used to be around 5'7", now I'm pushing 6'3". My black hair had turned into long red locks. My grayish-brown eyes had gone full crimson. And up close, there was something straight-up eerie about it. After a closer look, I found a mouth had opened up in the palm of my right hand, deep like an abyss, lined with dozens of tiny sharp fangs, identical to the mutant leech's mouth parts. It could drain blood straight from enemies. But honestly, this was a problem. The chaos hadn't even started yet, and looking like this, there was no way I could step outside. The second that thought crossed my mind, my red hair snapped back to normal and the mouth in my palm vanished. My eyes lit up. No way, that's insane. Less than 2 days until the dark chaos kicks off. I've still got 2 devour slots left. Gotta keep going. From my memories, there's a low-key billionaire in Daru City who keeps a rare electric eel in his collection. After the chaos hits, that thing's gonna mutate into a nightmare beast that fires off deadly lightning. If I can devour it before that happens, the gene sequence rewrite might unlock something even more powerful. Problem is, there's no way someone like me gets a meeting with this ghost billionaire. Lucky for me though, he's got a daughter who just happens to go to Qingbei University. I cleaned up and headed straight for the school, making it to an abandoned park not far from campus. Yan Xiaotian, the billionaire's daughter, kept an incredibly low profile. To avoid outing herself as a rich kid, she'd walk here after school and get picked up. When I arrived at the park, I spotted a stunning figure standing not far away. The girl had this unique vibe about her, the kind that screams, "Don't come near me." And right then, a Rolls Royce pulled up. 3 bodyguards stepped out and respectfully opened the door. Yan Xiaotian was about to get in and leave. I stepped right out from around the corner, smiled, and casually said to the bodyguards, "Robbery. The hot kind." "Wait, I mean kidnapping." Yan Xiaotian barely reacted, totally unbothered, like I wasn't even a threat. And fair enough, these 3 bodyguards were no joke. Ex-military, handpicked through a brutal selection process to become her personal guards. The lead bodyguard charged at me without a word. I threw one casual punch. Dude's face twisted up, didn't even get a scream out before he went flying 15 feet and smacked into a crooked tree. Out cold. Yan Xiaotian's eyes went wide. The other 2 bodyguards who were about to jump in, completely frozen. Bro, 1 punch and dude flew 15 feet? What the hell is this guy? Honestly, even I was a little shocked. Didn't realize I was that strong. Then I casually walked over to the Rolls Royce and gave it a test kick. Boom! The parking braked Rolls Royce launched 10 feet across the pavement. The entire side door caved in like a tin can, and the whole scene went dead silent. Yan Xiaotian's face went completely blank. The 2 remaining bodyguards literally collapsed from fear. I ignored them and walked straight up to Yan Xiaotian. Yan Xiaotian said, voice a little shaky, "Are you here to rob me or kidnap me?" "Call your dad, Yan Nanji. Tell him to bring that rare electric eel from his collection. Eel for girl. Simple trade." Yan Xiaotian's brow furrowed hard. She couldn't wrap her head around it. This guy went through all this trouble to kidnap her, just for her dad's pet eel? But with no other options, Yan Xiaotian pulled out her phone and called Yan Nanji, quickly filling him in on the situation and my demands. Inside the Tiansheng Group boardroom, a stern, middle-aged man picked up the phone and instantly went into full crisis mode. This is insane. Someone in Daru City actually dared to touch my daughter. Get the military on the line right now. Send their best men for backup. Now! And get the top medical team in Daru City on standby at the location. Full gear, ready for anything. I'm on my way. After making all the arrangements, Yan Nanji had his driver swing by the house first to grab the rare electric eel. I did everything you asked. My father will be here in half an hour. I nodded, thought for a second, then spoke. In 2 days, a beam of light is going to sweep across the planet. Every living creature on Earth will mutate and turn into a monster. When that happens, world order collapses. Society falls into a chaos like nothing anyone's ever seen. That eel of yours? It's going to turn into something terrifying. If you don't deal with it, your whole family dies. Believe it or don't, your call. But I'm not taking that eel for free. In exchange, I'm giving you a heads up that could save your lives. That's a fair deal. This sounds completely insane. Yan Xiaotian didn't say a word, just stared at me like I was out of my mind and shook her head. I didn't bother arguing. Instead, I dragged my right hand across my left, slicing it open. Then blood-red thread shot out from my fingers and sealed the wound, good as new. The two bodyguards watching from a distance felt their skin crawl, and Yan Xiaotian was shook on the spot. Your family's got businesses all over Daru City. Once the chaos hits, supplies are going to run out fast. If you trust me, you can roll with me. I can keep you alive. Even the strongest fighters still need food, water, and all the basics. And I'm no different. Going solo in this kind of world? Never the right move. In a time like this, building alliances is non-negotiable. The Yan family's a solid pick. We work together. We both win. I get it. I'll tell my father everything and talk it through with him. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Right then, sirens wailed in the distance, and a fleet of armored vehicles rolled up and stopped in front of them. A middle-aged man stepped out. One look at the wrecked Rolls-Royce, and Yan Nanji's heart sank to the floor. But the moment he saw Yan Xiaotian standing there completely unharmed, he let out a long breath of relief. I glanced over the fully armed military personnel without a care in the world and grinned at Yan Nanji. Mr. Yan, you brought what I asked for, right? Yan Nanji froze for a second. He didn't expect the guy who kidnapped his daughter to be this young. Here's what you wanted. And with that, Yan Nanji tossed the briefcase over. I caught it, popped it open. Inside was a fully blue electric eel, reeking of raw ocean stench. Without a word, I picked it up and started eating it raw. Yan Nanji just stood there, completely lost. What in the actual world is happening right now? The military guys were just as dumbfounded. Did they just run into a straight-up lunatic? Once I finished the eel, electrical arcs started crackling across my whole body. Yan Nanji sharply inhaled. That eel's discharge was strong enough to kill a mid-sized wolf dog. Congratulations, host. Rare electric eel successfully devoured. Gene sequence extraction complete. I focused for a second. My short black hair instantly shifted into long red locks, and my eyes went full crimson again. I held out one finger and condensed a blood orb, then detonated it in midair. The second any of the military personnel made contact with it, a massive jolt of electricity ripped through their bodies. They all dropped to the ground and went lights out. Yan Xiaotian and Yan Nanji were the only ones left standing, completely untouched. I glanced back at the two of them, then slipped away into the darkness. Less than a day left before the dark chaos begins. One devour slot remaining. I have to finish this before it all goes down. Right then it hit me. There was a special hawk at the Daru City Zoo. Feathers hard as iron, capable of letting out a piercing screech. I had blood abilities. I had lightning. The one thing I was missing was a way to fly. First thing the next morning, I rushed to Daru City's main zoo and found the cage housing that special hawk. And the moment I got there, I was floored. The hawk had already mutated. Its black feathers were like rows of blades, gleaming with a cold, bone-chilling light. Eyes cold and sharp like a viper's, it was slamming its beak against the iron cage like a machine, and within moments it broke free and came straight at me. My pupils snapped narrow.